I want people to ask themselves, how valuable are their lives right now? How valuable is your time? How valuable is everything that you're doing right now? How valuable is it? Because if you're a person to say, well, shit, I've been working this job for about 5, 6 years, 3 years. I go to work. I take care of my bills. I take care of my kids. And, most of the things is like material, external things that we think make up the value of us, or we don't really acknowledge the value of what we're actually doing, because self-value is very important. And I don't think people look at self-value enough, because if we did, half of the people that's working the jobs that they're working are doing the things that they're doing, they wouldn't be doing it. They wouldn't be sustaining something that they don't want to do. It's not, you have to ask yourself what serves you. That's what makes it a value to you. Understand? Now, if you're just working this job to take care of bills, then that's your value. And let's ask ourselves, how valuable is that? Me personally, I wouldn't want to work a job to survive. I'm sorry. I wouldn't want to work a job to just manage bills. I would want to choose something that I would like to do, that I can see myself mentally doing in order to have what I want. You have to find things and you have to use your mind in order to have what you want. And if it means sacrificing and not having it at the time, then you have to believe in yourself and have as much faith as you can to continue to move forward and know that that's already in store for you. This is how my life is set up. This is how my mental is set up. And to be honest, I couldn't share enough how it has became a truth to me. Like, my life is like, as I say, my life is what you make it. Life is what you make it. Life for me has literally been what I make it. Whether I choose to like it or not, I'm literally choosing to put myself in that position. I'm choosing, even subconsciously, without us not even being aware, the things that we do, we're attracting this because it's what we need, essentially. Even when it comes to the jobs that we don't like working, we attract those things. We go to those things to realize our value. If you are a person, we all are of this consciousness. So I can't really speak for other people, but I know we all internally feel this, is that, we all have pure intent. So it's nothing wrong with working a job. Long as you know that you're doing it in purpose, is what I'm saying, because that is in fact what makes it valuable. I'm doing this in order for this to serve me, to get this, or to, if that makes any sense. I feel like I'm all over the world, all over the place. But so the value of my life. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I'm very, very young, and most of my time is spent listening to information. Most of my time is spent to myself. I'm not around a lot of people. I don't associate with a lot of friends. I do have peers and loved ones that I choose to deal with, but it's not as often. It's not as often as most people would usually, because I know the value, I know the importance it is to be to myself, to love on myself, and not to engage with too many energies that's not a part of who I am as a person. A lot of the times we subconsciously deal with people without even knowing why. we entertain conversations that we don't even want to hear. We converse with people who don't understand us. And me as a person, I don't like to lower my frequency in order to be on a vibration with someone else's frequency. So whenever a person is talking to me, they're getting my mind. And how I project my mind is who I am. So most of the time I am talking to my loved ones, I am talking to my peers. It's about high level conversation, vibrations. How are you doing internally? How are you being? What's been going on? I'm getting deep. We're talking, and that's in every conversation that I have. Do these conversations last long? No, because most aren't on my vibration. Most aren't on that frequency. But this is how I carry myself, and I hold myself to a standard. I don't like having low vibrational conversations. When we're talking about things like this person did that, or I don't understand, I'm always giving, even when I am dealing with that duality, even when I am dealing with that, I choose to hear, understand, and to give my higher perspective, and that's about it. But as far as having emotional or a subjectivity towards that reality or that conversation or that whatever is trying to get that energy, I don't attach myself onto those conversations, to those people, to those situations, any of that. I'm always conversating on a high vibration for the most part when I deal with people. So that is the value, that is in my lifestyle. When it comes to communicating and dealing with people, I hold myself a value. What type of conversation are we having? What are we talking about? If it's not about the mind, if it's not about healing, if it's not a higher perspective, or if it's not you just opening up and truly just choosing to be aware of yourself, then 9 out of 10, I'ma see you for who you are, and I will accept that, and I would, love on that. As I carry the Christ consciousness. I am accepting to all walks of life, because we all have our destinated path. But I must allow you to know who I am, and that's what I bring to the table. That's my value when it comes to dealing with people, and that's just one thing. That's just one thing. Let's talk about food. Let's talk about food. I feel like a year ago, originally I was never a big eater. I was never a person to consume a lot of food, but I was a person that loved the hell out of sugar. And I don't know if you don't know, but scientifically, sugar is probably the worst things you can put inside your body. Consumption, not just eating, but let's talk about consumption. The value of your consumption. How valuable is your consumption? Is it valuable? Okay, when a person chooses to eat a McDonald's burger and then a person chooses to go eat a fruit, what is more valuable? The nourishment of that fruit, or the subjectivity of that burger tasting really good? Which one is more valuable internally? Well, the fruit has nutrition that the body needs. The burger has genetic form, like cells inside of that food. That meat is coming from another being, and within those beings, when we eat meat, this is cells. This is all flesh, is cells. And when we eat these things, our cells attach to these cells. And when you have a cow, when you have beef, and you're attaching those cells to your cells, this is how we create diseases in the body. And this is why we got diabetes. This is why we got cancer. This is why we got all different type of diseases. It's because we're consuming things and it's attaching itself to our cells, making a disease of the body. literally, right? So that's just for food. So every time that I choose to eat something, I'm looking at the benefits of the nutrition that it has for my body and not of the subjectivity of how good it's going to taste. Are you eating because how good it tastes? Are we eating because how good it tastes? Or are we eating because it's feeding our body? It's nurturing our body, our cells. This is what we must look at. I choose to go with the fruit. I choose to be aware of what it is doing for my body rather than me feeling like, okay, this shit is good. You know? How conscious are you? How deep can you go? A lot of people with shit, I just take the burger. Fast, I'll just take the burger. Right? Music. It's just all about the consumption. Even with music. I don't know if y'all, I talk about the subconscious a lot, but what goes into the subconscious mind every day that we have a 24 hours to observe, we're literally downloading. What are you hearing and what are you seeing in your everyday basis? Don't you know that your environment contributes into your DNA? Isn't that crazy? No one told you that. Your environment has a lot to do with your DNA. And DNA is just a strand of information. So where do you come from? What's the information you come from? Let's look at that, okay? Let's look at the environment. Bitch that, nigga this, get money, got this, got that, but don't got no knowledge of self. Because if we did, we wouldn't be talking about these things. We wouldn't be hearing these things. We wouldn't be seeing these things. Correct your reality when it comes to that. We got 10-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 5-year-olds. We got children. We got our babies listening to low vibrational music, tuning in, subscribing to low vibrational TikTok videos, YouTube videos. We have to heal our minds. In order to heal our minds, we must be aware. What is our children consuming? The music that we listen to, do you realize the influence that the music industry has on our culture? It's so huge, and all of it is materialistic. It's all external, outside of you. To where we're creating beings that's chasing things that's external and outside of us when everything is literally within. So we must study ourselves. So we won't have to externally look outward, and we would literally start understanding that everything that we need and everything that's around us comes from us. And when we start, we can't complain. We can't complain when we allow ourselves to indulge with these vibrations, with these frequencies. If you choose to listen to fucking I shot this nigga, you can't be mad about that nigga getting killed that you know. You have that in your reality. You listen about killing and having money all day, but questioning why you ain't got no money and worried about why niggas hating on you. You literally attracting that within your own mind. You worried about money because you listening to another person talk about money all day. And it's simple. Consumption is simple. Your vibration shows a lot about you. What you do frequently becomes your frequency. And if I see you listening to gun violence all day, I just know what you're attracting. If I see you listening to hood rat, my booty hole brown, whatever, that's a whole vibration. That's a whole frequency that you're on. Understand, I would never be in a car with my child. Listen, there's so much stuff that we should that, but this is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. This is why I love what I do, because I'm here to open your mind, to expand your consciousness, to think a lot more deeper than what we have been doing. We've been, just letting shit happen to us. We can't do that no more. We must be aware. We must be aware. And there's so many other things that I could go into detail about. Like our relationships, the value in our relationships, the value in our family, the value in our habits, the value in our everyday lives. This is stuff that we deal with on an everyday basis, and we choose to turn a blind eye and continue to live externally outside of us, which is only allowing us to just live out our subconscious without being conscious. Now, if you want some type of control of your mind, of this reality, of your consciousness, I'm telling you, all you have to do is choose to be aware. Now, this wouldn't help out everything because, just because you're aware doesn't mean everything's going to change. But as soon as you allow yourself to be aware, then you start understanding consciously, and your conscious expands, and it leads you and it attracts you to things that you essentially want for yourself. Literally, everything that you want inside of you, once you choose to be aware of that and start receiving and taking in the information because you're aware, you start gravitating more towards you. And essentially of who you are is infinite amount of possibilities, and you can be pure and you can also be tainted. But we have to choose to know of this so we can live out who we truly are. And most of us come from the source, which is the Most High, God. So I feel like this video is really, really long, and I didn't really want to make it that long. So peace to the gods. I love myself. Peace, reflection.